Who is Siddharth Singh aka Sidlu?
ये कहाँ से पता लगा बे?
ये रिकॉर्ड करना भूल गया।
ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं पता है मुझे। आई एम सिद्धार्थ सिंह। So hi, this is Siddharth. I founded Trip Machine about I think 7 years ago over a motorcycle ride to office. I worked for 5 years in the bank, didn't do too well and realized that I'm not very good at that job, so I decided to do something where I can't get fired, which is basically do your own thing. And in a gist, that's what I am.
How did you become an entrepreneur?
I still don't know what that word means, so I'm not an entrepreneur. I can't spell it. I'm just a regular guy riding motorcycles and living around it. But if you really want to know the backstory, this is always what I've been doing since I was a child. जब बहुत दारू पी लेते थे ना लड़के और बोलते थे क्या बनोगे, सब all these good guys in good colleges सारे बैठे हैं शराब पी लिए जगह, तो क्या बनेगा, मैं मैकेनिक बनूंगा. And because it was very clear that this is the only thing that I ever understood. Maybe not the mechanics of it, but the pure joy that it gives you when you're around them.
Tell us about your Rajdoot.
When I completed 2 years of Trip Machine, I wanted to gift myself a motorcycle because I had genuinely survived what I didn't think I will. And that's when I decided to buy a vintage motorcycle, is because my head is always in old school stuff. And that's when I spoke to a friend. He had a Rajdoot that he wanted to offload. He showed me the picture, it looked beautiful. I picked it up dirt cheap for about 16,000 rupees and then spent close to $1.25 lakh. The whole idea was that it needs to, relate to everything Trip Machine or actually stand for what Trip Machine stands for, and that's how the Rajdoot got built. Okay, so what we did first was change the full front of it. Of course, the color is pretty obvious that we changed it. We built a custom-made seat. It still kick-starts every time you have fuel. So the engine and everything was again redone to ensure that it works brilliantly. These are two. Now, of course, one of them has taken a beating, and this was done actually a bit wrong. That's what happens when you do everything. They were supposed to be on the other side, but these are 2 pint holders that you can, carry 2 bottles of beer in it. And on the other side, there's a small pocket that will carry your papers, small tidbits. Still runs fine. Every time we can get away from the cops and ride it.
How many motorcycles do you ride?
Technically 1. How many are in the garage is about 8. Why I don't ride the other ones is because they're illegal or the key is lost. Yeah, I think those are the 2 reasons why I can't usually ride. Is most of them are illegal now, and the one that is legal, the key is lost, and I have to find the key to happiness. I started riding with a borrowed TVS Victor. When I lost the key to that bike, I called up dad and said that I've lost the key to the bike, and he said go and buy a bike which you want, and that's how the Enfield came into picture. So I bought the Enfield way back in 2007. So when I started working, I bought Harley Davidson Iron, which is 2011, and that's what I used to ride over. So the Enfield and the Harley was what I used riding. Move ahead to a couple of years down when then I finally started Trip Machine. This is the bike that I gifted myself 2 years of completing Trip Machine, and then the love for vintage motorcycles was always there. So after this I bought a 76 Java, and then I picked up another classic 350, which was basically to build the coffee bike, but then I kept it for a couple of months just to ride it around, and then we built the coffee bike on it. Then the Bonnie came into picture. Post that, last year when we were doing an event in Lonavala, I knew that my cousin's RX was standing for I think the last 10 years, 12 years in Pune. So I went there, picked it up, put it in a truck, came back. The funny thing is when I looked at the RC, It was always my dad's bike. So technically, the RX was the first bike, but it came in the last.
Tell us about your Royal Enfield Veera.
Okay, so this is Veera, which in Punjabi means brother. You cannot call it a she because that's not how, because male bonds are stronger. And this is a bond that I've had for 16 years now. The part about this is that everything, barring a few custom elements here and there, is how the bike came in. By that, what I mean is every time it's got a dent, that dent is supposed to stay, right? So if you look at exactly, so now when the center stand doesn't work, it will still be how it came back in 2007. So all these dents, whatever is on the bike is how the bike came in, except for obviously the seat and of course the grips and the headlight X. Barring that, nothing on the bike is how it did not come. These particular ones were made by Rajputana, which is when Vijay had started ages ago. These were bought. So now if you look at the whole bike as such, every element has a history, and that is why there are no touch-ups, we call it restorations as such, that ever happen to the motorcycle, because this is how over 16 years I chose the best custom builder in the world, which is God himself, who looked at every part and made every part. And that in a short statement is what Veera is.